Welcome to the Higher Power Podcast, where your safe zone for discovering your true self is created. We are your hosts, Frank Sieben and Jill Humphries.
Okay, Frank, this is week 10 of these podcasts. Can you believe this?
Yes, incredible, week 10.
Week 10, amazing. Can we just give so much love and thanks and gratitude for all our listeners, all the beautiful messages that we're getting as well. Beyond grateful to be able to do this, but beyond grateful for you to spend some time with us here. Week 10, I decided in my infinite wisdom to say to you, as I was walking along with my four-footed friends, that as it's week 10, we should do 10 life hacks to alignment.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
And we came out with a list of 10 things that we feel could get you back on track and help you towards that alignment of being in your higher power and your purpose. So, Frank.
That's what we put together, yes.
We did. So we're going to start. Frank's got 5 and I've got 5. So we're going to get on with them. And the very first one is being still in the moment. Frank, it's all yours.
Yes. The first life hack is be still in the moment. For me, this is all about the power of now, which goes back to Eckhart Tolle. Here, you drop the weight of the past and the stress of the future and do something in the now, because that's where you can act. That's where you can do something. That means you don't live in the past where all the anxiety and the worry lives. You come back to the present moment. And on top of that, you don't even live in the future because maybe you're longing for something to happen. No, be in the present moment, and that's where you can act. That's where you can stop the suffering. That's where you escape the personal pain you create when you hang in the future or when you hang in the past. It also shows that there is no one knocking at your door to save you. You got to do that yourself in the present moment.
Now that's a powerful share, Frank.
Yeah. So strive towards your goals without getting lost in the daydream.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow. So, on to life hack. Right? Yeah, very deep. On to life hack number 2 on the list. And this is my favorite.
Yeah, I love this one, Jill.
Take your shoes off. This may sound a little bit crazy, but we walk around every single day without any connection really to our planet. We've got shoes on. We've got an incredible amount of sensors. And if anybody's listening who does reflexology, they will so get me here, because we've got meridians that run through each and every organ of the body, through the feet and the hands. And I feel that if you can somehow manage to get your feet in sand, in soil, on grass, some of that grounding and connection taking place there brings you back to center, back to earth, literally.
Yeah.
So when we feel a bit floaty or a little bit lightheaded, or we've got so much going on and we've got stress and, we've got many things pulling at us, if you can find some time to contact with the earth through taking your shoes off, believe me, this is amazing life hack that will enable you to feel a lot better and to feel grounded.
Yeah, it's so liberating.
Yeah.
To just take your shoes and socks off and just be in ground with Mother Earth.
Yeah. And we, our shoes are obviously there for protection, but if we can take our shoes off, it actually acts like a massage to the feet as well. So that helps with all the circulation and it makes you feel grounded, makes you feel part of being in this planet again.
Beautiful. Love it. Now, when we come to number 3, that's a special one for me, I would say.
Oh, yes, I can't wait to hear about this one.
Listen to your favorite music. Music is the only element that can really touch your heart. I mean, you can listen to a speech and it really moves you, but when you listen to music, it can make you cry, it can make you laugh, it can really touch your heart deeply, on a very deep level. And if you combine both, a speech with music, that's even more powerful. So what music does, it shifts your physiology and it connects with the nervous system through the auditory sensory perception. And this connects right to the heart center magnetic field. That's really powerful. And the vibration to it. And as a producer, I even enhance this by choosing a frequency of 432 hertz, which is incredibly healing instead of the 440 hertz, which is the normal tuning you can find in probably any music. And what music does to me also when I listen to my favorite pieces of music, which is, I have to mention here, this is definitely all the stuff Eric Prydz is doing. This every time gives me such a creative push, not only in the music, but also for my business, for my life. That's definitely a life hack for me.
Well, you certainly do, Frank. And everything that is actually on our podcast, through our meditations, through our poems, and to the intro track here, all lovingly put together by you, Frank. You're incredible talent, and appreciate for what you bring to hear that really gets us more in tune with a higher power every time we listen to it. It's wonderful.
I'm beyond grateful, Jill.
Yeah, thank you. Number 4 on the list, it's go out in the elements.
Tell us.
Well, when we are stuck indoors, and let's face it, you and I, Frank, building our digital online businesses, and those of us in offices, in corporate worlds, we might go out in the element, but that's only to go out to work. That's only to get us somewhere where we need to be going. The days actually when we don't really have to go out are the days that we can go out and feel the elements, feel alive, either through warmth, extreme cold. It's all about stimulation, and the stimulation we need on a daily basis. And you can imagine a lot of us stay indoors when it's rainy and it's cold and it's, the days are shorter. Even on those days, if you can go out on a crisp, frosty morning, there is something really special about it. And for now,
you feel alive.
Yeah, for now we're in the summer, so we've got the vitamin D when the sun shines. But it really changes your focus, enhances your breathing, helps circulation, and again, it's another physiology shift, a little bit like the element of music, but this time, the elements we cannot control when we go outside are the weather. But I just think that some of them are really, really exciting, like going out after a thunderstorm and smelling that rain, smelling that air. And it's just an incredible physiology turn on for me anyway.
Yeah, it's a shift in nature as well.
Yeah, totally. Which is not in our control, which is kind of exciting.
Now we come to number 5. This is also a special one for me. Find some sacred space to meditate. And I thought it makes sense to subdivide the sacred space into the outer space and the inner space. And when we talk about the inner space, it's all about the calmness of the mind. So let your thoughts pass by. Imagine you see clouds passing by. These are your thoughts. You're not attached to these. Be mindful and heighten your self-awareness. Focus on your breath. And by doing this, you really connect with yourself. You really connect with your source energy. And I always include gratitude and forgiveness into my meditation, which is a healing part of this exercise. Well, when we come to the outer space, it's all about feeling comfortable, maybe even loved. Be in a space where you feel comfortable and loved, where you connect with nature. I love to be in nature when I meditate, because this connection really gives me a healing feeling, really gives me a feeling. Also, I want to come back to this present moment. It gives me the feeling to be in the now, which is so vital for meditation. So yeah, I can only invite you to do the same.
Wow, Frank, you lost me there.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was deep into what you were actually saying, and I know the meditation side of things, just to let our listeners know that we're going to be introducing a guide, a beginner's guide to meditation. So we're going to be putting some more bits and pieces out on our site. Also, we've got some incredible meditation on our website already. And if you go into the media side of things, you will see the Higher Power Purpose poems and meditation. Please visit them and sample some of these amazing delights, because meditation is definitely something, when practiced every day, certainly helps you through the events of life and helps you gain a better perspective about you as being your true self. So, Frank, that's wonderful for that. And talking about big life hacks, my favorite one is coming up.
That's your favorite one. I know this. But it's so cool.
It's the art of laughing and enjoying yourself. And literally, it is the chemical buzz that we get from this, the endorphin release, all the good stuff comes to the surface when we have a really good laugh. And it releases huge chemical hits in the body that is almost like a medicine. The medicine is for our mind and body. It triggers healthy physical changes, brings people together, increases happiness and intimacy. It boosts your immune system, helps with the diminishing of pain, the feeling of pain, and protects you from damaging radical changes that stress can actually bring. And it's a daily mood supplement that would support good health. So next time that you have a good laugh, think about all the things that it's actually doing inside your body. It's not only that, but look at the person who you're having a laugh with. Notice their physiology. Notice all the crow's feet that come up when the reality of a good laugh is happening. Tears from the face. You're gripping your sides. You cannot control yourself.
And Jill, you know what the best thing is?
What?
It's free.
It totally is. And I do an awful lot of it. I can't help it. I've done it since I was a child. I used to get told off for it, actually, in the class, that I was always laughing, always joking around with people. But I can't help it. And if you can sort of like give a smile to somebody who perhaps hasn't got one, or you can just share a laugh with somebody, I just find it immense connection, and that everybody feels good. Everybody, people don't remember what you say, but they certainly remember how you make them feel. And with a smile or sharing a laugh, it's very, very important. It's beautiful. It's the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is having a laugh with somebody, even if it's a complete stranger. It doesn't really matter.
Such a gift.
Yeah, it is. And guess what else it does for us, Frank?
What?
It stops us aging.
Ah, right. I got to do even more of that.
Yeah,
then.
me too.
Wow. Okay, so now we come to number 7. That's a scary one. Do something that scares you.
Wow, sounds spooky.
In my case, I actually thought the first thing that came in my mind was doing a podcast. It is scary because you really enter the zone of, for us it's a safe zone, but it was unknown. And the unknown is always something that scares you. So I would say it's about investing into yourself. But the best part is that after doing this, you always feel good. You feel good about it. And you know that this is worth doing. If something scares you, that's a good sign. And when something scares you, there's always the opportunity for growth and contribution. What you get from the investment in you is what you can give back into the world. That's a gift as well. And Eleanor Roosevelt said it. She was the first lady of President Roosevelt. She said, to achieve personal growth, it is sometimes necessary to move outside your comfort zone. Unjustified fears or limiting beliefs can constrain exploration and positive development. That's big.
Yeah, that's huge. And I think you're right. When we first initiated putting this podcast together and we wanted to bring the message to a wider audience so that we could be here and help people, and eventually we're going to start to meet people through various functions and things and workshops that we want to do, it suddenly thought, oh, we're no longer behind closed doors. We're going to be coming out. We're going to be talking to people. We're going to be meeting people. We're going to be receiving feedback. We're going to be in the zone where people can reach out to us. And at first it is incredibly scary, but it's something that you and I, Frank, have got a mission to do. And I think when we overcome that first initial one, and with all the feedback that we get and all the people that love what we do, we know this is validation. So the scary moments are to reach you guys out there, and they're so incredibly worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, the messages we receive that people really thank us for making their day is just incredible. I'm so grateful to get these messages.
Yeah. And I think that what you say about moving out your comfort zone, that is when you do something that scares you like that. And the other side, and you think to yourself, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And it's meaningful.
Yeah, very much so. And that, this is what life's all about. It's not staying in the status quo so much. It's stretching yourself and doing something that does scare you really makes you grow, Frank. You hit the nail on the head there for me, because growing every single day is something now we seek out. We don't seek out the status quo. We're both not happy with that at all anymore. We want to seek out things that do pull us into our greatness.
Well, dancing is also something that scares me. Tell us about dancing,
Oh,
Jill.
well, number 8 on the life hack list. Dance like
I love it, though, I have to
nobody
say.
is looking. Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you are at one with a piece of music and you're just flowing and dancing and doing your thing, that is all about self-expression of true self. No matter how bad it might look to somebody else, if you are really enjoying it and in that moment, nothing is going to touch you there. You are in the heart center. But not only that, mental health, muscle strength, endurance, motor fitness, weight management. It's an emotional thing to do anyway, and it's connection with other people. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of engagement. And again, Frank, it helps stop the aging process because our bodies stay flexible. The vibrancy of when you're moving to music, it's an incredible thing to watch when you get two people so in sync with each other as well. For me, the dance of the tango always used to leave me breathless. I used to think, oh my goodness me, that is an incredible synchronization between two people. And the music behind it, they just become one with the music. And as a musician and a producer, Frank, you're well averse with that. And
so passionate.
the passion there is huge. And I've danced all my life, actually. I did an incredible thing. I went with a dance troupe. I was taught to the conventional dancing, and I never stopped, really. And I absolutely love my music. And I'm afraid when the music starts, I can't stop. So beware anybody who sees me on the dance floor.
I definitely gonna spot you there, Jill.
The cognitive way as well actually is a huge thing for anybody who has a problem perhaps not conversing and talking. I went to a workshop where music and dance was the only thing. There was no words. You had to, through your body movements, project the feelings of the music. And it was an incredible thing, Frank. And we were talking about a really heavy emotional situation. But every single person had a movement to the music, which was so felt. It was absolutely amazing to watch. But dance, again, brings you together with other people. And so
true.
Even when you're on your own in the kitchen, just turn up that music and just let it go, because it really is a physiology shift.
Yeah.
And who cares if anybody comes home and sees that you're dancing? Get caught. It doesn't really matter.
And guess what? I dance to my own music when I produce it.
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Well, let's come to number 9. And I think the last 2 we can do together, Jill,
Yeah.
because they are equally important to us.
Yeah, I agree. Number 9 is huge for us, Frank, because it's give yourself permission to be vulnerable with the right people.
Very true. Yes.
Being in a space, and we mean with the right people, because this can be termed as being weak of character, or it can be termed as being somebody seeing you as an easy manipulative person, and that's not where we mean when we're coming from this. But it's just being open and raw with your true self.
You can let your weakness become your strength.
Yeah.
In this space with the right people, because you're showing them your inner power.
But when you speak from that space, you never stray from the truth.
Yeah.
Even if your voice is shaky, it doesn't really matter, because when you're core centered like that and you're vulnerable, you can be at your most powerful, as you say.
Yeah. And you know what you can do? Coming from this point, I tell you, Jill, you can change the world.
Yeah, you can.
Because people are listening to you, and you know that this is your true self speaking.
And I think vulnerability is something that nobody likes to show in some respects, no matter who they are. But you have a connection with a lot more people when you are vulnerable, because then they can see that you're not a robot.
Peeling off the onion.
Yeah, you're not a robot. You're not just being something to somebody. You're being all things to everybody when you're vulnerable.
And the last life hack we want to share
But
with
not
you,
least.
but definitely not least, no. This is find something you love. Find something you feel love for.
Oh, wow. The reason we've left this till last is it's an absolute immense life hack. All of them are actually, but to find something you love or feel something that you love for. When you feel love, it can be for an animal, it can be for a person, it can be for a location. If you go inside to that place when you're feeling slightly out of alignment, it can bring you straight back to point. It can put you in that day. It can put you in that moment. It can make you feel incredibly empowered. It can make you feel really, really good. And what does this world need more of?
Yeah. I mean, everybody is thinking about love. So we gotta speak more of love. This is also what Brené Brown speaks about. She says, love is universally important to us. So why are we not speaking about it? That's incredible.
I know. And another thing is, Frank, this is also free. But the trouble is, if we give love, we expect something back. We live in an expectation world. We don't just give out love. We have expectation of it's got to come back some shape or form. And this is the sad part, really. If you can love unconditionally, and if you can greet every person you greet like an animal greets you after you've been away for a long time, can you imagine? That dog loves you unconditionally because you are a companion, you are somebody it looks up to. When we give out love in this world for complete strangers, or we have empathy or compassion for people, it has that certain vibration that is so beautiful. It's like when you see a flower just open for the first time, or you're in the middle of this beautiful place where the sea is lapping on the shore, or you just look into someone's eyes and you just feel that connection. We can have that at any moment in time. We must not put expectations onto anything that we love or give love to.
Well, it's like Tony Robbins says, less expectation, more appreciation. You appreciate the moment. And this is also taking you back, as Eckhart Tolle says, to the present now. Because, for example, if you appreciate the food you prepare yourself or for your family, that's the love we are talking about.
Yeah. This is what this world needs more of. And this is where you and I are at, because just before we wrap this show up, Frank, what do you always say?
Spread the love. Speaking of love, Jill, this is our favorite subject, I think. And in episode 5, we interviewed the author Tim Brister regarding his latest book, 365 Days of Wisdom, with love. And this podcast was brought with love and all about love. So it's well worth circling back to it.
So there we go, guys. This is our 10th life hack to alignment. And I'm going to say spread the love as well. And thank you ever so much for joining us here. And see you next week. And until we meet again, stay safe and we love you.